Do you feel safe in Dublin City at the moment?
I feel safe in the daytime, and I would probably feel safe in the evening time if my husband was with me. Would I walk on my own at night? Not sure. That might be taking a risk because there has been some antisocial behaviour, but in general I would feel safe.
Okay, what would put you off going into the city?
At night time it would be stabbings have happened. There's a few areas, I'm sure there are areas that are safe, but there would be few areas that are unsafe, and I would probably be very wary of them.
Now, you mentioned you'd feel safe if your husband was with you. Do you have any children that you would be worried about if they come into the city, or relations?
I do. I have 2 daughters and a son, and one daughter would be in town quite a lot in the evening time, and in general she does feel safe, but again I think it's probably because of the areas that she goes to, and she will take a taxi home.
Would you feel safe on public transport?
Yes, I think I would. Yes, I think I would. I think on the Lewis there are people, there are often security guards on it, and I think the buses are quite safe.
Okay, overall, what can be done to make the city better?
I suppose more police. I wouldn't like their job. I would hate any of my children to be policemen or policewomen. I think they take their life in their hands a lot of the time. But I think more police, and I think the justice system has a lot to answer for. I think if there were more penalties for misbehaving, get them quickly and give them the penalties, then that would be better.
Do you feel safe in Dublin City at the moment?
No, definitely not.
Can I ask you why?
Well, there's an awful lot of unsocial behaviour now. It's not only night time now, it's daytime. And we're here now on the street where it's all multinationals, and we don't know what's going to happen from one end of the day to the other. Like there can be an outbreak of anything. Like for instance, last week there was a stabbing incident in the Ilex Centre during the day. Well, so that's not good enough, you know what I mean?
Now, you've been here street trading in Moore Street over the years. When did it all start changing?
Just in the over the last 12 months, really. I think a lot of the groups are all getting bigger in age. You know, they're growing up now and they're in different gangs now, what we never had. In the last 2 weeks, there is a lot of police presence, and there has been no instance. So no, I have to give credit where it's due, definitely. But whether that keeps up or not, I don't know.
The scooters are flying by you, very thing. You can see them sitting around the corners, and it's all scooters coming up. So like the guys are dealing there in around the area, and there's a lot of atmosphere between foreign people and refugees and the Irish people. The guys going up through the bins, routing through the bins. I witnessed here about 2 weeks ago that there was two groups fighting over. It was their corner. These bins was their area. So it's just getting.
So were they looking in the bins for stuff?
Rooting for the bottles and the things. But then another 2 guys come over to them and said, "These are their bins. This is their area. Keep off our turf."
Would you recommend any tourists come into the capital?
It's very hard. I deal with people from the States through golf and things like that. It's very hard. They're quite happy when they come. But the thing about it is they're not moving in around town. They're going to the hotels and they're going to the couple of local pubs. They wouldn't be walking in around town. So no, it's not a very safe place at the moment.
It's not safe at all now. Years ago it was, but not this generation today. They're fighting with knives. They're threatening us with knives that they'll burn their stalls down. If we go to approach them to say they're doing anything to move them, they're threatening us to burn their stalls down.
It's just not the same anymore. You just feel very nervous, a lot of pickpocketing going on, a lot of robbing, stabbings, the whole lot. It's just not the same anymore. You don't feel safe.
When did it start not feeling safe for you?
Over the last few years, because I commute through town from work, and I just didn't feel safe standing around even waiting on a bus to go home from work. So I'd get the Lewis straight directly over because I didn't feel safe standing around in town.
Do you feel safe here in Dublin?
Yeah, generally I feel safe, but the recent activity, people are stabbed, even Irish people also stabbed. I have seen a couple of months back, even recently. That is scaring me. Stabbed in front of the public in the daylight, that is scaring. That should be avoided. And racism, it is there. I don't want to say, but it is there. Every country it is, but here also it is.
Do you feel safe in Dublin City at the moment?
I do. I think it's okay. There's a lot of people around. I think during the day it'd be a bit better than the night time. I wouldn't come on my own, but I would be okay if I had to, kind of thing.
What would put you off coming to Dublin though?
I suppose
just like the unknown of the people on the streets. You just don't know what way people could be, if they could turn and at any moment and stuff like that. But like, you just have to kind of have your wits about you.
Do you feel safe in the Dublin city after a lot of recent shenanigans that went on?
No, not as much as I used to. I'd be in and out before tea time if I have to come in. If we were to meet friends, yeah, it's afternoon, meet them for an afternoon lunch and go home. So I work in the city Monday to Friday, but if there was an opportunity to work remotely, then I would, yeah.
What's your biggest fear?
I just think you don't know now who's, there's so many, you see knife crime is on the rise. You don't know who's going to approach it at any given moment.